What the hell are you teaching my daughter? Are you insane? Ryan Reynolds' voice cuts through the silence of his Malibu mansion like a blade. He stands frozen in the doorway of his daughter's playroom, his briefcase still gripped in one hand, his eyes wide with something between confusion and rage. He wasn't supposed to be home yet. The Tokyo deal was supposed to keep him overseas for another 3 days. But he'd wrapped early, caught a red-eye, and arrived at his oceanfront estate 3 hours ahead of schedule. Now he wishes he hadn't. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows behind them, the Pacific Ocean glitters gold in the late afternoon sun. But Ryan isn't looking at the view. He's staring at his 7-year-old daughter. Sophia sits cross-legged on the plush carpet, her blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, her blue eyes focused with an intensity he hasn't seen in months. Her small hands move through the air, fluid, deliberate, purposeful. Not playing, not fidgeting, signing. Across from her, mirroring every gesture with calm precision, is Serena Williams, the nanny he hired 6 months ago. Late 20s, dark skin, patient brown eyes that now flick toward him with something that looks like dread. "Mr. Reynolds," she begins, her voice steady. "I can explain." "Explain?" Ryan's voice rises as he steps into the room. "Explain why my daughter is doing this?" He gestures sharply at Sophia's hands. "She's not deaf, Serena. Why are you teaching her to act like she is?" Sophia's hands freeze mid-sign. Her face crumples. Those bright blue eyes that used to sparkle with mischief, fill with tears. "Daddy, Her lips move, but no sound comes out. She tries again, her small chest rising with effort. Nothing. So she signs instead. Her hands form shapes Ryan doesn't understand. Words in a language he never bothered to learn. And that makes him angrier. "Stop it," he snaps. "Stop doing that. Use your words, Sophia." She's trying. Serena starts to stand. "I don't want to hear it." Ryan cuts her off, his jaw tight. "My daughter is not broken. She doesn't need this." He waves dismissively at the ASL alphabet chart on the wall, at the children's books with signing illustrations spread across the floor. "What are you trying to do? Make her think she's defective? Label her as some kind of—" "Mr. Reynolds, please." Serena's voice hardens. "If you'd just listen for one." "No." "You listen." Ryan takes a step closer, his presence filling the room. 6'2", broad-shouldered. Every inch the CEO who built a tech empire from nothing. "I hired you to take care of my daughter, not to fill her head with this. Not to make her think she needs special treatment or—" A sob breaks through his words. Sophia is crying now. Silent tears streaming down her face as her hands still try to form signs. Desperate, frantic movements that grow more frantic when Ryan can't understand. "Sophia, stop." But she doesn't stop. She signs faster, her small face twisted with frustration and fear. Fear of him. And Ryan sees it. That look in her eyes. The same look she had 18 months ago when her mother walked out the door and never came back. The look that says, "You don't see me. You don't hear me. I'm invisible." Something cold settles in his chest. But pride is louder than doubt. "Pack your things," he says to Serena, his voice dropping to ice. "You're done here. I want you gone by morning." Serena's mouth opens, closes. Her eyes flick to Sophia, whose hands have finally stopped moving. The little girl stares at the floor, tears dripping onto her lap. "Mr. Reynolds, I said you're done." He turns on his heel and walks out. Behind him, he hears the sound that will haunt him for weeks. Sophia's running footsteps, the slam of her bedroom door, and then nothing. No crying, no screaming, just silence. The kind of silence that lives in a house where a child has learned that being heard is impossible. Serena stands alone in the playroom for a long moment. Then she moves quietly, gathering her things with practiced efficiency. Before she leaves, she pulls an envelope from her bag and places it on the kitchen counter. Inside, a letter Ryan won't read. Not tonight. Not while his pride is still burning. But written in Serena's careful handwriting is the truth he refuses to see. Sophia has selective mutism. It's an anxiety disorder triggered by trauma, in her case, her mother's abandonment. She physically cannot speak when overwhelmed. Sign language isn't a crutch. It's a bridge. It's the only way she can tell you she's drowning. The envelope sits untouched as Ryan pours himself a scotch and tries to ignore the guilt clawing at his throat. That night, Ryan lies awake in his king-sized bed, staring at the ceiling. He can hear Sophia crying, muffled sobs filtering through the walls of her bedroom down the hall. He gets up twice, stands outside her door with his hand raised to knock. But the door is locked. Sophia has never locked her door before. Not once in 7 years. Ryan tries the handle again. Sophia? Sweetheart, open up. Nothing. Through the gap at the bottom of the door, he sees her shadow. She's sitting on the floor, her back against the wood. And her hands are moving, signing to herself in the darkness. Words he'll never understand. A language she's using to speak to the only person who can't hear her. Herself. Ryan sinks down against the hallway wall and closes his eyes. Downstairs, the envelope waits. But Ryan Reynolds has no idea that firing Serena Williams isn't the end of his problems. It's only the beginning. Because what he doesn't know yet is this. His daughter isn't just sad. She's disappearing. And he's about to lose her in a way no amount of money or power can fix. If this story is hitting you where it hurts, if you've ever felt invisible or loved someone who is drowning in silence, hit that subscribe button. Because what happens next will either break this family or save it. And you'll want to be here to see which one wins. 3 days. That's how long it takes for Ryan Reynolds' world to completely unravel. Day 1 starts with breakfast. Or rather, the absence of it. Sophia sits at the kitchen island, staring at the plate of pancakes in front of her like they're made of cardboard. She doesn't touch them. Doesn't even look up when Ryan walks in, already checking his phone. Already half gone to the office in his mind. Morning, sweetheart, he says, pouring coffee. Eat up. You've got school in 20. Nothing. Not even a glance. Mrs. Henderson, the new nanny, hired within 12 hours of Serena's departure, bustles in with forced cheerfulness. She's older, white-haired, the kind of woman who believes problems can be solved with cookies and sunshine. Good morning, darling, she chirps at Sophia. Aren't those pancakes just lovely? Your father made them himself. Ryan hadn't made them. The chef had. But he doesn't correct her. Sophia's fork doesn't move. Sophia. Ryan's voice sharpens. I said eat. Her small hand reaches for the fork. Picks it up. Sets it back down. Mrs. Henderson tries again. How about we talk about school? What's your favorite subject? Do you like reading? Math. Sophia's eyes stay fixed on the table. She's just tired, Ryan mutters, grabbing his briefcase. She'll snap out of it. But she doesn't. The call comes at 10:47 a.m. Ryan is in a meeting with his executive team when his phone buzzes. He ignores it. It buzzes again. And again. Finally, he glances at the screen. Sophia's school, main office. His stomach drops. He excuses himself and steps into the hallway. Hello. Mr. Reynolds? This is Principal Martinez. The woman's voice is careful, measured. I'm calling about Sophia. Is she hurt? No, nothing like that. But we're concerned. She hasn't spoken a word since she arrived this morning. Not to her teacher. Not to her classmates. When Ms. Rodriguez tried to engage her during reading circle, Sophia just stared at her hands. Ryan's jaw tightens. She's fine. She's just adjusting. Adjusting to what, Mr. Reynolds? A pause. Sophia was doing so well last week. She participated in show and tell. She laughed during recess. Now she won't even make eye contact. What changed at home? Everything, Ryan thinks. But he says, nothing. I'll talk to her. Mr. Reynolds, if there's something going on, a family issue, a change in routine, we have resources. A school counselor who specializes in. She's fine, Ryan snaps. Then softer. Thank you for calling. I'll handle it. He hangs up before she can respond. By day 2, Ryan is looking for someone to blame. And he lands on Serena. She filled my daughter's head with nonsense, he tells his lawyer over the phone, pacing his office. Made her think she's broken. Dependent. I want to know if I have grounds to sue. His lawyer, David Kim, a man who's pulled Ryan out of more legal fires than he can count, sighs audibly. Sue for what, Ryan? Teaching your daughter sign language. For overstepping. For emotional damage. For. You'd lose. And you'd look petty doing it. David's voice is blunt. Sign language isn't abuse. It's communication. What exactly do you think a judge would say? Ryan doesn't answer. Drop it, David advises. Focus on your kid. But Ryan doesn't know how. That afternoon, his business partner Chris Evans stops by the office. Chris is the kind of friend who doesn't knock, just walks in, drops into a chair, and gets straight to the point. You look like hell, Chris says. Thanks. When's the last time Sophia actually talked to you? Ryan looks up sharply. What's that supposed to mean? Chris leans forward. I mean talked. Not nodded. Not shrugged. Had an actual conversation. Ryan opens his mouth. Closes it. He can't remember. That's what I thought. Chris stands. Figure it out, man. Before you lose her completely. That night, Ryan does something he hasn't done in months. He goes into Sophia's room. She's at school. Well, supposedly at school, though Ryan suspects she's just sitting silently in classrooms, invisible. Mrs. Henderson will pick her up. Ryan has 2 hours. He tells himself he's looking for evidence. Proof that Serena did something wrong. Something he can point to and say, see? I was right to fire her. He searches the bookshelves, the toy chest, the closet, and then he finds it. Under the mattress, wrapped in a pink pillowcase, a leather journal. Ryan sits on the edge of Sophia's bed and opens it. The first page punches him in the gut. A drawing. Crayon on paper. A little girl. Blonde hair, blue dress, with both hands clamped over her mouth. Her eyes are wide, desperate. Caption in shaky handwriting. When I can't find words. He flips the page. Another drawing. The same girl trapped inside a glass box, fists pounding against the walls. No one outside the box is looking at her. When I'm invisible. Another page. The girl underwater, sinking, bubbles rising from her mouth. When Daddy's too loud. Ryan's hands start to shake. He keeps flipping. Page after page of the same little girl, silent, trapped, drowning. And then, one page is different. This drawing is in color. Bright, vibrant rainbow colors. The little girl is standing in sunshine, her hands free, moving in shapes Ryan now recognizes as signs. Next to her is a woman with dark skin and a wide smile. Serena. The caption reads, When I can talk without talking. Ryan stares at it until the lines blur. He doesn't leave Sophia's room. He sits there, journal in his lap, as the sun sets outside her window. He thinks about the last 18 months. About Blake walking out, suitcase in hand, her final words echoing in the marble foyer. She's your problem now, Ryan. I can't handle a broken child. Broken. Ryan had told himself Blake was just angry, lashing out. That Sophia wasn't broken. She was just sad. Adjusting. But he'd internalized that word, hadn't he? Every time Sophia went quiet, every time she shrank into herself, Ryan had thought, what's wrong with her? Why can't she just be normal? He'd been trying to fix something that wasn't broken. And in doing so, he'd shattered it. Ryan goes to his office, opens his laptop, pulls up the security footage from a week ago. He scrolls to the playroom, presses play. On screen, Sophia and Serena sitting cross-legged on the floor. Sophia's hands move in fluid signs. Serena mirrors her, smiling. And then, Sophia laughs. A real laugh. Full-bodied, joyful, the kind Ryan hasn't heard in over a year. Miss Serena, watch this. Sophia's voice, clear, bright, alive, rings through the speakers. She performs a sign. Serena claps. Perfect. See? You have so many ways to be heard. Sophia grins. Then, quieter. I wish Daddy could understand me like you do. The video continues, but Ryan can't watch anymore. He closes the laptop, puts his head in his hands, and breaks. At midnight, Ryan finally opens the envelope Serena left on the counter. Her handwriting is neat, careful. Mr. Reynolds, Sophia has selective mutism. It's an anxiety disorder triggered by trauma. In her case, her mother's abandonment. She physically cannot speak when she's overwhelmed. It's not a choice. It's her brain protecting her from pain. Sign language isn't a crutch. It's a bridge. It gives her control when anxiety steals her voice. It lets her say, "I'm scared," or "I need help," when words won't come. She's not broken, Mr. Reynolds. She's brilliant. She just speaks a language you haven't learned yet. Serena. Ryan reads it 3 times. Then he folds it carefully and puts it in his wallet. He walks to Sophia's door. It's still locked. "Sophia," he whispers. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." No answer. But through the gap at the bottom of the door, he sees her shadow. And her hands are moving. Ryan Reynolds has finally seen the truth. But seeing it and fixing it are 2 very different things. Because Sophia isn't just sad anymore. She's disappearing. And the only person who knows how to reach her is the woman Ryan drove away. Now he has to find Serena Williams and somehow convince her to come back. But Serena doesn't owe him anything, especially not forgiveness. Ryan Reynolds has done a lot of hard things in his life. Built a company from nothing. Survived a divorce that made tabloid headlines. Closed deals with men who'd sooner bury him than shake his hand. But finding one woman who doesn't want to be found? That might be impossible. Day 4 post-firing, Ryan calls the agency that placed Serena. "Sunrise Caregivers, how can I help you?" This is Ryan Reynolds. "I need contact information for Serena Williams. She worked for me until recently." "I'm sorry, Mr. Reynolds. Ms. Williams resigned from our roster. We don't have a forwarding address." "What do you mean you don't have? She worked for you for 2 years. She requested we remove her information. Professional boundary. We respect our caregiver's privacy." Ryan's jaw clenches. "This is about my daughter. It's urgent." "I understand, sir. But I can't help you." The line goes dead. He tries her phone next. Disconnected. The number he's called a dozen times to ask about Sophia's meals, her bedtime, her mood, now routes to a generic voicemail. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. Social media? Nothing. Serena's profiles are scrubbed clean or set to private. No photos. No locations. No breadcrumbs. It's like she vanished. And meanwhile, Sophia is fading. She stopped eating anything but crackers. Won't go outside. Sits in her room with the door locked, hands moving in signs no one understands. "Mrs. Henderson quit yesterday." "I'm sorry, Mr. Reynolds," she'd said, wringing her hands. "But that child needs more help than I can give." Ryan is out of options. So he calls someone he swore he'd never call. The private investigator's office is in a strip mall in Burbank, sandwiched between a nail salon and a tax preparer. Ryan sits in a cramped waiting room that smells like stale coffee and old carpet. The door opens. "Mr. Reynolds?" The woman who steps out is black, 50s, sharp-eyed, wearing a blazer that's seen better days. Her name is Claudia Morris, and she doesn't look impressed. "You're the guy who fired his nanny for teaching his kid sign language." It's not a question. Ryan stands. "How did you?" I do my homework." She gestures him into her office. "So, let me guess. Now you want me to find her, so you can what? Apologize? Grovel. Whatever it takes." Claudia sits behind a desk piled with folders. Studies him. "Why should I help you?" "Because my daughter is 7 years old, and she's locked in her room, and she won't eat, and I don't know how to reach her." Ryan's voice cracks. "Serena does. She's the only one who does." Claudia leans back in her chair. "You know what I think? I think you're a rich man who's used to getting what he wants. And now that you can't, you're throwing money at the problem." "You're right." That stops her. "I am used to getting what I want," Ryan continues. "And I was an arrogant ass who thought I knew better than everyone. But I don't. I failed my daughter. And Serena was trying to help, and I punished her for it.
So yeah,
I'm throwing money at this. Because I don't know what else to do. Silence. Then Claudia opens a drawer and pulls out a notepad. Give me 48 hours. 46 hours later, Claudia calls. West Side School for the Deaf. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to noon. She volunteers. Ryan is in his car before she finishes the sentence. Saturday morning. Ryan sits in the parking lot of the West Side School for the Deaf, wearing jeans and a baseball cap like that'll make him less recognizable. Through the window, he can see her. Serena. She's in a classroom full of kids, ages 5 to 10, all deaf, and she's radiant. Her hands move in fluid, graceful signs. The kids watch her with complete focus, then sign back, and she laughs. Ryan watches for 2 hours. He sees the way she kneels to a little boy's level when he gets frustrated. The way she high-fives a girl who nails a new sign. The way she makes every single kid feel seen. This isn't just a job for her. This is who she is. At noon, the session ends. Parents trickle in to pick up their kids. Serena walks a small girl to the door, signing something that makes the girl giggle. Ryan gets out of his car. Serena. She turns, and her face goes cold. You need to leave. Please. I just need 5 minutes. This is a safe space. Her voice is quiet but iron hard. You don't belong here. It's about Sophia. You made your choice, Mr. Reynolds. Serena turns her back. She deserves better than a father who sees communication as a threat. She walks toward her car. Ryan stands in the parking lot, watching her go. Defeated. That night, Claudia calls again. I've got one more lead, but you're not going to like it. Tell me. She visits Evergreen Cemetery. Every Sunday, 4 p.m., row 12, plot 47. Ryan doesn't ask how Claudia knows this. He just says, thank you. Sunday afternoon. Ryan stands in front of a white marble gravestone. Maya Williams, beloved sister. Age 9. Taken too soon. Fresh flowers rest at the base. Lilies. Someone was here recently. Ryan reads the inscription carved below the dates. She had so much to say, but the world didn't learn her language in time. His throat tightens. This isn't just a job for Serena. The next Sunday, Ryan arrives at 3 p.m. He brings flowers of his own, white roses, and places them beside Serena's lilies. Then he sits on a bench 20 feet away and waits. At 4:03 p.m., Serena's car pulls into the cemetery. She gets out slowly, sees Ryan, hesitates. Ryan doesn't stand, doesn't approach. He just lifts his hands and signs clumsy, clearly self-taught, but earnest. I'm sorry. Serena's mask cracks. Just a little. She walks to the grave, kneels, adjusts the flowers. Then she sits on the bench beside him. Not close, but present. I looked up your sister, Ryan says quietly. The house fire. I'm so sorry. Serena's jaw tightens. She was deaf. She couldn't scream for help. The neighbors didn't know she was inside until it was too late. That's why you teach signing. I teach it because every child deserves every language. Serena's voice is tight. Sophia isn't deaf. But when anxiety steals her voice, signing gives her power. Control. A way to say, help me, when words won't come. She finally looks at him. And you took that from her. Ryan pulls Sophia's journal from his bag, hands it to her. Serena opens it, flips through the pages. Her expression breaks. She drew these after her mom left, Ryan says. I didn't know. I thought she was just adjusting. I didn't see how much pain she was in. Not until you showed her another way. He pulls out his phone, shows her the security footage, Sophia laughing, signing, saying, I wish Daddy could understand me like you do. Serena watches it twice. You were right, Ryan whispers. I don't know how to hear her, but I want to learn. Please. Serena closes the journal. Hand it back. I'll think about it. She stands to leave. She's not eating, Ryan says desperately. She's not sleeping. She locked herself in her room, and I can't. I can't reach her. Serena stops. That's not safe. I know. Ryan's voice cracks. I know. And I can't fix it. But you could. A long silence. Then, I'll come see her.
Once.
That's all I'm promising. Ryan exhales for the first time in days. Thank you. Serena Williams has agreed to see Sophia. But one visit isn't enough to undo the damage Ryan caused. And Sophia's silence is deeper than anyone realized. Meanwhile, Ryan is about to discover that fixing his mistakes will require more than apologies. It'll require him to become a completely different man. And he's running out of time. 3 days. That's how long Ryan has to wait after Serena agrees to visit. 3 days of watching Sophia through security cameras, seeing her shadow move beneath her locked door, hearing nothing but silence. 3 days of hell. When the doorbell finally rings, Ryan nearly sprints to answer it. But Mrs. Henderson, who's somehow still here despite threatening to quit, beats him to it. Oh. She blinks at the woman on the doorstep. Mr. Reynolds said you might visit. Serena steps inside, her expression unreadable. She's wearing jeans and a simple sweater, her hair pulled back. No makeup. Like she dressed for battle, not a social call. Where is she? Serena asks. Ryan appears from the hallway. Upstairs. Her room. The door's still locked. How long? 10 days. Serena's jaw tightens. She heads for the stairs. Ryan follows. She won't even open it for me. I've tried. Then give me space. Serena doesn't look back. This isn't about you right now. Ryan stops at the top of the stairs. Watches as Serena approaches Sophia's door. Serena kneels on the hardwood floor. The door is white, solid, with a gap of maybe 2 inches at the bottom. Just enough to see shadows. Just enough for light to slip through. Just enough for hands. Serena presses her palms to the floor and positions herself so the hallway light casts her shadow under the door, where Sophia can see it.
Then she signs.
Her hands move slowly, deliberately, forming shapes in the light that filter into Sophia's dark room. It's Miss Serena. No response. I'm here. Nothing. You don't have to open the door. Serena's voice is soft, barely above a whisper. But I'm not leaving until you know you're not alone. Silence. Ryan stands frozen in the hallway, watching. 10 minutes pass. 15. He's about to suggest they try again tomorrow when a small hand appears under the door gap.
Pale. Thin.
Fingers trembling as they form a sign. You came back? Serena's eyes fill with tears. She signs back. Always, sweetheart. Always.
A pause.
Then the lock clicks. The door opens slowly. And Ryan's heart breaks. Sophia stands in the doorway, and she looks like a ghost. Her blonde hair is tangled. Dark circles shadow her eyes. She's wearing the same pajamas she's had on for 3 days, clutching her stuffed rabbit, Mr. Hoppy, against her chest like a shield. She's lost weight. Ryan can see it in her face, her wrists. She doesn't speak. Just stares at Serena with wide, desperate eyes. Then her hands move. Daddy made you go away. Serena kneels, so their eye level. Your daddy made a mistake. He was scared. But he's learning. Sophia's hands tremble as she signs. I'm scared too. Scared I'll never have words again. You have words right now. Serena reaches out, gently touches Sophia's hands.
See?
Your hands are speaking. And that's just as real. Sophia's face crumples. She falls into Serena's arms, and for the first time in 10 days, she makes a sound.
A sob.
Muffled against Serena's shoulder. Serena holds her, rocking slightly. I'm here. I'm here. Ryan watches from the hallway. He sees his daughter's face transform. The light returning to her eyes. The tension leaving her small shoulders. Sophia pulls back and signs something. Serena laughs, an actual laugh, warm and genuine. And Ryan realizes with painful clarity, I don't understand my own daughter. She's speaking right in front of him, and he's deaf to every word. That night, after Sophia finally falls asleep in her own bed, after eating half a bowl of soup and drinking a full glass of water. Ryan makes a call. Los Angeles Sign Language Academy? I need your most intensive course. I don't care what it costs. I start tomorrow. The next morning, Serena asks to speak with Ryan privately. They sit in his office, the same room where he fired her 2 weeks ago. The irony isn't lost on either of them. If I come back, Serena says, her voice steady, things change. Ryan nods. Name your terms. You don't get to dismiss what you don't understand anymore. You don't get to make Sophia feel broken for communicating differently. Agreed. Serena pulls out a handwritten list. First, you learn ASL. I'll tutor you personally. 2 hours a day minimum.
Done.
Second, Sophia sees a child psychologist. I have a referral, Dr. Patricia Chen. She specializes in selective mutism. I'll call her today. Third, no more trying to fix Sophia. You accept her as she is. Ryan's throat tightens. I do. I swear I do. And fourth, Serena's eyes lock on his. I get final say on Sophia's communication methods. No questioning. No undermining. If I say she needs to sign, she signs. Ryan doesn't hesitate.
Yes.
To all of it. Serena studies him for a long moment, then extends her hand. Okay. They shake on it. That evening, the three of them sit down for dinner together. It's awkward at first. Ryan trying too hard, asking questions Sophia answers only in signs. Serena translating patiently while Sophia pushes pasta around her plate. Then Ryan attempts a sign he learned that morning. He means to sign thank you. He accidentally signs refrigerator. Sophia's eyes widen. Her mouth opens. And she giggles. The sound is so unexpected, so pure, that Ryan freezes. What did I? He looks at Serena. You just thanked the refrigerator for dinner, Serena says, grinning. Sophia's giggle turns into a full laugh. She signs to her father, showing him the correct gesture. Ryan tries again. Gets it right this time. Then he takes a breath and signs something else. Slowly, carefully, making sure every motion is correct. I love you. Sophia's laughter fades. She stares at him, then signs back. I love you too. And does something neither Ryan nor Serena expect. She whispers it. Out loud. Love you, Daddy. Her first verbal words in 3 weeks. Ryan's vision blurs. He doesn't even realize he's crying until Sophia climbs out of her chair and into his lap, wrapping her thin arms around his neck. I'm sorry, he whispers into her hair. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. She just holds him tighter. Across the table, Serena watches with a small, knowing smile. This is just the beginning. 2 days later, they sit in Dr. Patricia Chen's office. The space is warm, filled with soft furniture and shelves of books. Dr. Chen herself is Asian American, late 40s, with kind eyes and a clinical but gentle presence. She speaks to Sophia first in signs. Sophia's face lights up. She signs back eagerly. Dr. Chen watches, nods, then turns to Ryan and Serena. Sophia has selective mutism, she confirms. It's an anxiety disorder triggered by trauma. In this case, her mother's abandonment. It's not a speech disorder. It's not psychological resistance. Her brain is literally protecting her from overwhelm by shutting down verbal communication. Ryan leans forward. Can it be cured? It can be managed. With gradual exposure therapy, a safe environment, and Dr. Chen glances at Sophia, who's now drawing at a small table, maintaining ASL as her safe language. When she can't speak, she still needs to communicate. Sign language gives her that. So, it's not a crutch. Dr. Chen smiles. Mr. Reynolds, your daughter isn't defective. Her brain is protecting her. Sign language is a bridge, not a crutch. Ryan finally gets it. All of it. That evening, the three of them sit on the back patio, watching the sun set over the Pacific. Sophia sits between Ryan and Serena on the outdoor couch, her bare feet tucked under her. The sky bleeds orange and pink. Sophia taps Ryan's arm. Signs. Beautiful. What's the sign for beautiful? Ryan asks. Sophia shows him. Ryan copies the gesture, clumsy but earnest. Serena signs something to Sophia. Sophia grins and signs back. What did she say? Ryan asks. Serena translates. I told her, your daddy's trying hard. She said, I know. I'm proud of him. Ryan's voice breaks. I'm proud of you too, sweetheart. Sophia leans into his side. For the first time in 18 months, Ryan Reynolds feels like a father again. Then his phone buzzes. He almost ignores it. But the screen lights up with a text from an unknown number. We need to talk about Sophia. Blake. The peaceful moment shatters. Ryan Reynolds thought the hard part was over. He thought finding Serena and learning to communicate with Sophia meant they could finally heal. But he was wrong. Because Blake Lively, the woman who abandoned Sophia and called her broken, is back. And she wants custody. Not because she loves her daughter, but because her new fiancé's prenup requires it. Now Ryan has to fight for Sophia in court and prove that the family he's building, unconventional as it is exactly what his daughter needs. Blake Lively doesn't knock. She never has. The next morning, a chauffeur-driven Tesla pulls into the circular driveway of Ryan's Malibu estate. The door opens, and out steps a woman who looks like she walked off a magazine cover. Oversized Chanel sunglasses. Designer dress that probably costs more than most people's monthly rent. Hair blown out to perfection. Blake walks to the front door like she owns it. Mrs. Henderson answers. Ma'am, I don't believe Mr. Reynolds mentioned. I don't need an appointment to see my daughter. Blake brushes past her into the foyer. Her heels click against the marble floor. In the playroom, Sophia is sitting cross-legged on the floor with Serena, working on a puzzle. They're signing back and forth, Sophia's hands moving more confidently than they have in weeks. Then they hear it. There's my baby girl. Blake's voice echoes through the house, bright, performative, loud. Sophia freezes. Her hands stop mid-sign. No, no, no. She signs frantically to Serena. No, no, no. Serena pulls Sophia close. It's okay. I'm here. But it's not okay. Because Blake sweeps into the playroom like a hurricane, arms outstretched. Sophia. Mommy missed you so much. Sophia shrinks behind Serena. Blake stops. Her smile falters for half a second before snapping back into place. And who are you? She looks at Serena. The new nanny? Where's the help I approved? Serena stands slowly, positioning herself between Blake and Sophia. I'm Serena. And you haven't been here to approve anything in 18 months. Blake's fake smile vanishes. Excuse me? Ryan appears in the doorway. He was in the garage on a work call when Mrs. Henderson frantically texted him.
Blake.
What are you doing here? Blake turns, sunglasses still on. I'm here for my daughter. I've been hearing concerning things. From who? Her school called me. Blake's voice drips with faux concern. Said she's not speaking. That you've got her doing hand signals, like some kind of trained seal. Serena steps forward. It's called American Sign Language. And it's helping. I wasn't talking to you. Blake doesn't even look at her. Ryan, we need to discuss this privately. Sophia clings to Serena's leg. Her whole body is trembling. Ryan's jaw tightens.
Fine.
My office.
Now.
The moment the office door closes, Blake's mask drops. I want joint custody. 50-50. Ryan stares at her. You abandoned her. You called her broken. I was overwhelmed. I've been in therapy. Blake's voice is smooth, rehearsed. I'm better now. This isn't about Sophia. Ryan crosses his arms. What's really going on? Blake hesitates.
Just for a second.
Then, my lawyer will be in touch.
And Ryan?
That nanny needs to go. She's clearly confusing Sophia. She walks out before he can respond. The moment Blake's Tesla disappears down the driveway, Ryan calls his lawyer. Maria Santos answers on the first ring. Tell me. Blake wants custody. 50-50. Blake doesn't do anything without an angle. Let me dig. 48 hours later, Maria calls back. She's engaged. What? Trevor Hunt. Tech billionaire. Net worth north of $3 billion. Maria's voice is grim. And I got my hands on a draft of their prenup. Ryan's stomach drops. And she needs primary custody of any children to access his family trust. $50 million, Ryan. That's what Sophia's worth to her. Ryan closes his eyes. She doesn't want our daughter. She wants the money. Bingo. Upstairs, Sophia has locked herself in her room again. Serena sits outside the door, signing under the gap. Talk to me, sweetheart. Sophia's hand appears. Signs back. She doesn't see me. She never did. What do you mean? When she looks at me, her eyes are empty. Like I'm a doll, not a person. Later, Serena finds a new drawing in Sophia's journal. It's Blake. Perfect hair, perfect dress. But her eyes are blacked out. Just empty circles where eyes should be. That night, Ryan can't sleep. He goes downstairs at 11 p.m. and finds Serena in the kitchen making tea. Can't sleep either? She asks. Ryan pours himself a scotch. I failed her twice. Serena doesn't argue. Once by marrying Blake. Twice by not seeing the damage sooner. You're seeing it now, Serena says quietly. That's what matters. If Blake gets custody. Ryan's hand tightens around the glass. Sophia will disappear completely. Blake will stick her in some boarding school and forget she exists. Then we fight. Ryan looks up. We. Serena meets his eyes. Her voice is firm, unwavering. That little girl upstairs is the bravest person I know. I'm not walking away from her. Not for Blake. Not for anyone. Something shifts in Ryan's chest. He's not looking at an employee anymore. He's looking at a partner. The custody papers arrive the next morning, delivered by courier in a crisp manila envelope. Blake is seeking 50-50 custody, claiming Ryan's unstable household, pointing to Serena as rotating staff, Sophia's mutism as proof of neglect. Ryan's frequent business travel makes him unavailable. Court date, 6 weeks away. Maria comes to the house that afternoon. They sit around the dining table, Ryan, Serena, and Maria, with a legal pad covered in notes. We need to show stability, continuity, and most importantly, that Sophia is thriving with you, Maria says. She's not speaking. Ryan's voice is hollow. How do I prove she's thriving? She's communicating more than she has in a year, Serena counters. We document everything. Therapy sessions, school progress, videos of her signing, laughing, engaging. Maria nods. I'll need character witnesses. Teachers, therapists, and she looks at Serena. You might need to testify. Serena doesn't hesitate. Whatever it takes. That night, Sophia can't sleep. She wanders downstairs and finds the 3 adults in the kitchen, papers spread everywhere. She hears them talking. About court. About her mother. About custody. She signs to Serena. Will the judge make me go with mommy? Serena kneels. I don't know, but we'll tell them the truth about what you need. What if they don't understand my truth? Then we'll teach them, just like we taught your daddy. Sophia's eyes fill with tears. Her voice comes out small, barely a whisper. I don't want to leave you. Serena pulls her close. Then we'll fight to make sure you don't have to. From the doorway, Ryan watches. And he realizes something that terrifies him. Sophia doesn't just love Serena. She needs her. More than she needs him. The battle lines are drawn. Blake lively wants custody, not out of love, but out of greed. And she's willing to paint Ryan as an unfit father and Serena as a manipulator to get it. Now Ryan has 6 weeks to prove that the unconventional family he's building is exactly what Sophia needs. But there's one problem. The law doesn't always recognize love. Sometimes it only recognizes biology. And Blake is Sophia's mother, which means Ryan is about to fight the hardest battle of his life. And this time, money can't save him. 6 weeks. That's all they have to prove that Sophia belongs with Ryan. 6 weeks to document, prepare, and build a case strong enough to convince a judge that an unconventional family is exactly what a 7-year-old girl needs. Maria Santos arrives the morning after the custody papers are served with 3 accordion folders, a legal pad, and a plan. We treat this like a war, she says, spreading papers across Ryan's dining table. Because that's what it is. Dr. Chen's office becomes their second home. Twice a week, Sophia sits in the warmth of the therapy room, soft couches, gentle lighting, toys that double as communication tools. Dr. Chen documents everything. Sophia is responding remarkably well to combined verbal and ASL approach, she writes in her notes. Progress exceeds expectations for selective mutism treatment. The sessions are recorded with Sophia's permission. Video evidence of her signing, occasionally speaking, laughing at Dr. Chen's terrible knock-knock jokes. At school, Ms. Rodriguez, Sophia's second-grade teacher, keeps detailed records. Before Serena's return, Sophia was isolated, she writes in her report. She sat alone at lunch. Didn't participate in group activities.
Now,
she's teaching other kids basic signs. She led show and tell last week using ASL and written cards.
she's not just participating.
She's leading. Maria collects it all. Every note, every observation, every piece of evidence that Sophia is thriving. At home, Ryan throws himself into learning ASL with an intensity he once reserved for corporate acquisitions. 2 hours a day minimum. Sometimes 4. Serena tutors him at the kitchen table while Sophia does homework nearby. Ryan's hands stumble through alphabet drills, common phrases, full sentences. He's not a natural. His fingers tangle. He forgets signs he learned yesterday. But he doesn't quit. One evening, as Sophia's getting ready for bed, Ryan sits on the edge of her mattress with a worn copy of Goodnight Moon. Want to try something? He asks. Sophia tilts her head. Ryan opens the book and signs the entire story. His hands move slowly, deliberately, forming each word. Sophia watches with wide eyes, correcting him when he messes up, guiding his fingers into the right shapes. When he finishes, she throws her arms around his neck and whispers, "Again." So he reads it again, in the language she understands. Chris Evans shows up at the house on a Tuesday. Ryan's business partner, the man who co-founded their tech company, who's known Ryan for 15 years, sits across from Maria with his arms crossed. "Tell me what you've observed," Maria says, pen poised. Chris doesn't hesitate. Ryan restructured his entire schedule around Sophia. Turned down the Tokyo expansion, a $200 million deal, because it would have meant 6 months overseas. He's at every school event now, every therapy appointment. He leaves the office at 4 p.m. The Ryan I knew 3 months ago would have called that weakness. Now he calls it priorities. Maria writes it all down. Ms. Rodriguez comes next. She's nervous, twisting her hands in her lap. "I've been teaching for 12 years, she says. I've seen a lot of struggling kids. But Sophia? Before Serena came back, she was disappearing. Not just quiet, vanishing. Now she's one of the brightest lights in my classroom." Dr. Chun provides clinical testimony, cold facts wrapped in warm words. Forcing Sophia to conform to normal speech patterns would be regressive and harmful. Mr. Reynolds' willingness to meet her where she is, to learn her language, is precisely what the research says works. But then Blake's team finds Mrs. Patterson, the nanny who worked for Ryan before Serena. Older woman, bitter about being let go when Ryan downsized staff. Her deposition is damning. "He was never home," she tells Blake's lawyer. "Always on his phone. I raised that child more than he did." Maria doesn't flinch. "We'll counter it, but it's going to hurt." Blake's lawyer, Martin Cross, slick suit, slicker smile, depositions Serena in a conference room that smells like expensive cologne and desperation. "Isn't it true you were fired by Mr. Reynolds?" Martin leans forward. "For overstepping boundaries?" Serena's hands are folded in her lap.
Her voice is calm.
"I was fired for helping Sophia communicate. Mr. Reynolds has since learned why that was necessary." "How convenient." Martin smiles. "And now you're living in his home full-time. What exactly is your relationship with Mr. Reynolds?" The implication hangs in the air like smoke. "I care deeply about Sophia," Serena says carefully. My relationship with Mr. Reynolds is professional and focused on her well-being. But the damage is done. 2 days later, the tabloid headline screams from newsstands. Reynolds' new romance? Nanny controversy heats up. The photo shows Ryan and Serena on the back patio, Sophia between them, taken with a telephoto lens. An intimate moment made public. Ryan wants to sue. Maria tells him it'll make things worse. Let them talk, she says. We focus on Sophia. Week 5, the breakthrough. Dr. Chen's session is recorded, as always. But this one is different. Sophia sits on the couch, legs tucked under her, Mr. Hoppy in her lap. Dr. Chen asks a question she's asked before, dozens of times. If you could tell your parents anything at all, what would it be? Usually, Sophia signs her answer. Or writes it down. But today, she speaks. Her voice is small, halting, but clear. I want to tell Mommy. I'm not broken. I'm just scared. She pauses, takes a breath. And I want to tell Daddy, thank you for learning my language. Then her hands move, signs flowing. And Miss Serena, you saved me. Ryan watches the footage in Maria's office. He makes it through Sophia's first sentence before he breaks. His hands cover his face. His shoulders shake. This is powerful, Maria says quietly. But Blake's team will argue she was coached. Ryan doesn't care. He watches it 3 more times. His daughter called him daddy. Said thank you. In her own voice. The court orders both parents to undergo psych evals. Ryan sits in a sterile office, answering questions from a man with wire-rimmed glasses and a notepad. Do you feel you've been a good father?
No.
But I'm trying to be better. How do you handle stress? I used to bury it in work. Now I talk to Serena. I sign with Sophia. I'm learning. The report comes back a week later. Highly functional. Shows genuine remorse for past neglect. Actively engaged in child's specialized needs. Emotionally present and improving. Blake's evaluation is different. Maria gets her hands on a leaked copy, full report, not the sanitized summary Blake's lawyer submitted. Narcissistic tendencies. Views child as extension of self-image rather than autonomous individual. Limited emotional availability. Struggles with empathy in maternal context. But Blake's lawyer suppresses most of it. The judge only sees, capable of parenting with therapeutic support. By week 6, paparazzi are camped outside the mansion. Telephoto lenses aimed at windows. Drones buzzing overhead. Sophia sees a tabloid at the grocery store while out with Mrs. Henderson. Her own face staring back at her. Headline: New daughter caught in middle. She has a panic attack in the cereal aisle.
Can't breathe. Can't speak.
Shuts down completely. 3 days of silence follow. Serena is furious. She's a child. How did they even get that photo? Ryan discovers the truth through his security team. Blake's people hired photographers. Paid them to stake out the house, catch candid moments. He files a lawsuit for invasion of a minor's privacy. It won't go anywhere before the custody hearing. But it sends a message. It's become their safe space. The kitchen at 11 p.m. when Sophia's asleep and the house is quiet. Serena makes tea. Ryan nurses scotch. Blake's lawyer is going to destroy you on the stand, Ryan says. They'll twist everything. Make it look like you're manipulating both of us. Let them try. Serena's voice is steady. I know why I'm here. Do you? Ryan looks at her. Really looks. Because sometimes I wonder, is this still just a job to you? Serena sets down her mug. It stopped being just a job the moment Sophia signed, I love you to me. And me. She hesitates. Ryan, I can't. We can't complicate this right now. I'm not trying to complicate anything. His voice drops. I just need you to know, you're not just the nanny anymore. Not to me. Not to Sophia. Then what am I? Your family. The word hangs between them. Serena's eyes glisten. That's a dangerous word. Maybe. But it's true. Neither of them moves. Neither looks away. Finally, Serena stands. We should get some sleep. Court's in 2 days. But she touches his shoulder as she passes. And Ryan knows she feels it too. Maria runs Ryan through a mock trial in his office. They'll ask about your temper, the firing, your fitness as a parent. Ryan practices staying calm, not defensive. Do you love your daughter more than your career? He opens his mouth. The old Ryan would have hedged, would have said something diplomatic. But that Ryan is gone. I do, he says firmly. That's why I'm here fighting instead of in Shanghai closing a $200 million deal. Maria nods. That's the answer. Midnight. Sophia can't sleep. She pads down the hall to Ryan's room, Mr. Hoppy dragging behind her. Can't sleep? Ryan asks. She climbs into his bed. Signs. I'm scared. Ryan signs back. Me too. Her voice comes out in a whisper. What if she takes me away? Ryan pulls her close. Then I'll learn sign language so well I can sign to you from across the country. And you'll always know I'm saying, I love you. But I want to stay here. With you and Miss Serena. Then tomorrow we tell them that. In every language we know. The door creaks. Serena appears, concern on her face. Everything okay? Ryan gestures to the bed. Room for one more? Serena climbs in on Sophia's other side. The little girl nestles between them, finally peaceful. And for the first time in weeks, all three of them sleep through the night. Tomorrow, the war begins. And Ryan Reynolds, a man who's spent his life winning, is about to discover that some battles aren't won with money or strategy. They're won with love. And he's finally ready to fight. The Los Angeles family court building is gray concrete and glass, imposing, cold, designed to intimidate. Ryan Reynolds has closed deals in boardrooms all over the world. He's stared down billionaires and hedge fund sharks without blinking. But walking through those courthouse doors with his 7-year-old daughter's hand in his, he's terrified. Day 1. Opening statements. The courtroom is smaller than Ryan expected. Wood paneling, fluorescent lights, a judge's bench that looms over everything. Judge Patricia Morrison enters, a black woman in her 50s with silver-streaked hair and eyes that miss nothing. Stern but not unkind. Be seated. Blake sits across the aisle with her lawyer, Martin Cross. She's dressed perfectly, soft blue dress, minimal makeup, the picture of a concerned mother. Behind her, Trevor Hunt. Billion-dollar smile. Dead eyes. On Ryan's side, Maria Santos, Serena, and Chris Evans in the gallery for moral support. Sophia sits between Ryan and Serena, hands clasped in her lap. Martin Cross stands first. Your Honor, this case is about a mother's love. His voice is smooth, practiced. Blake Lively made mistakes. She'll be the first to admit that. She suffered from postpartum depression, delayed onset, a condition many mothers face. She needed time to heal. He paces. But now she's ready.
She's been in therapy.
She's engaged to a stable, loving partner. She wants to be the mother Sophia deserves. He clicks a remote. Photos appear on a screen. Sophia not speaking in class. Locked in her room. Looking thin, fragile. Meanwhile, Mr. Reynolds' household is in chaos. Rotating staff. Unconventional methods. A daughter whose condition has worsened under his care. Martin's voice rises. A child needs her mother, Your Honor. Especially a daughter. Mr. Reynolds has proven incapable of providing the emotional nurturing Sophia requires. He sits. Maria Santos stands. She's shorter than Martin, but she commands the room. Your Honor, Mr. Cross is right about one thing. This case is about love. But not Blake Lively's love. She doesn't love Sophia. She abandoned her. Maria clicks her own remote. A timeline appears. 18 months of zero contact. No phone calls. No birthday cards. No child support. Nothing. Sophia has selective mutism, an anxiety disorder triggered by her mother's abandonment. Mr. Reynolds didn't know what that was. So he found someone who did. A video plays. Sophia laughing, signing with Serena. Speaking in soft, halting words. That's Sophia now. Healing. Communicating. Thriving. Maria's voice hardens. Ms. Lively wants custody now? After Sophia's finally healing? Disrupting this progress would be cruel and harmful. She sits. Blake takes the stand. She dabs at her eyes before she even speaks. I was struggling, she says, voice trembling. Postpartum depression it's a darkness I wouldn't wish on anyone. I couldn't be the mother Sophia needed, so I stepped away. For her sake. And now, Martin prompts. I've been in therapy for 14 months. I'm on medication that works. I'm ready to be her mother again. It's a performance. And it's convincing. Maria stands for cross-examination. When Sophia's birthday, Ms. Lively? Blake blinks. April? It's June 12th. Murmurs in the courtroom. What's her favorite color? Pink. It's purple. Lavender, specifically. Blake's composure cracks. When did Sophia stop speaking? Recently? 14 months ago, Ms. Lively. The same time you left. You didn't notice? I was sick. Blake's voice rises. How dare you, Ms. Lively? Judge Morrison's voice cuts through. Answer the questions. Blake slumps in her seat. Maria sits. No further questions. Ryan's hands shake as he's sworn in. Maria keeps her question simple.
Direct.
Were you a good father 18 months ago?
No.
Are you a good father now? I'm trying to be. What changed? Ryan looks at Sophia. I almost lost her. I fired the one person helping her because I was too proud to admit I didn't understand. And when she locked herself in her room and wouldn't eat, I realized I had a choice. Keep being the man I was, or become the man she needed. Which did you choose? I learned sign language. I restructured my company. I show up now, every day. Martin Cross approaches for cross-examination. His smile is predatory. You fired Ms. Williams, the woman now sitting at your table. Why? Because I was ignorant. You fired her for helping your daughter. What kind of judgment is that? Ryan's jaw tightens. The judgment of a scared father. I've learned better. Convenient timing. Learning better right before a custody hearing. I didn't learn for the hearing. Ryan's voice rises. I learned because my daughter locked herself in her room and wouldn't eat. Because I almost lost her forever. Silence. Martin sits. Dr. Patricia Chun takes the stand. She's calm, clinical, unshakable. Selective mutism is not a choice, she explains. It's a neurological response to trauma. Sophia's brain is protecting her from overwhelm by shutting down verbal communication. She shows a chart. When I first met Sophia, her verbal communication was at 0%. Now it's at 40%. That progress is extraordinary. Why the improvement? Maria asks. Consistency, safety, and sign language as a bridge when words won't come. Martin tries to attack on Cross. Isn't Ms. Williams essentially replacing the mother? Dr. Chin doesn't flinch. Children can attach to multiple caregivers. What Sophia needs is consistency. Ms. Lively has provided none. Serena walks to the stand. She's wearing a simple dress, her hair pulled back. She looks terrified. Maria starts gently. What was Sophia like when you first met her?
Silent.
Withdrawn. She'd draw pictures of herself drowning. And now? Serena's face softens. She sings in the shower. She teaches other kids signs. She told me last week she wants to be a teacher when she grows up. Martin Cross stands for cross-examination and goes for blood. You were fired. Why did you come back? Because Sophia asked me to. Because she needed me. How much is Mr. Reynolds paying you? My salary is.
No.
How much is he paying you to testify today? To play house? To replace the mother? Serena's hands tremble. I'm not replacing anyone. I'm showing up, which is more than Ms. Lively has done. Martin leans in. Isn't it true you have romantic feelings for Mr. Reynolds? The courtroom gasps. Serena's eyes find Ryan's. Then she speaks.
Honest. Raw.
I care about him. As Sophia's father. As someone trying to do better. But my relationship with Sophia isn't about him. It's about her. So, you're building a family with my client's husband and daughter. I'm helping a little girl find her voice again. Serena's voice rises. If that threatens you, maybe ask why. Judge Morrison bangs her gavel. Mr. Cross, sit down. Judge Morrison calls Sophia to her chambers.
Private.
No parents. Just the judge, Sophia, and a child advocate. What's said in that room doesn't come out. But when Sophia emerges, she's holding the advocate's hand. And she's smiling. Trevor Hunt appears in the gallery. Sits behind Blake. Maria notices. Texts her investigator. The response comes during recess. He's here to ensure she gets custody. His trust lawyer is in the hallway. Maria shows Ryan. It's about money, he whispers. Always was. Martin stands. Biology matters. Mothers matter. Sophia needs stability, not a hired nanny playing mommy. Maria stands. Sophia has found her voice. Verbal.
Written. Signed.
Blake didn't teach her that. Ryan didn't teach her that. Serena did. And Ryan learned alongside his daughter. She plays one final video. Sophia signing home and pointing to Ryan and Serena. That's her answer. That's where she feels safe. Judge Morrison closes her folder. I'll have my decision in 48 hours. Court adjourned. Outside, paparazzi swarm. Sophia clings to Serena. Signs. Did I do okay? Serena signs back. You were so brave. Blake walks past.
Stops.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Ryan meets her eyes. This isn't about winning. It's about Sophia. Blake's smile is ice. To you maybe. To me, it's about what I'm owed. She walks away with Trevor. Sophia watches her mother leave. No tears. Just signs to Ryan. She doesn't see me, but you do. Ryan holds her tight. I'll never stop seeing you. In 48 hours, Judge Morrison will decide Sophia's fate. And Ryan Reynolds, for the first time in his life, has no control over the outcome. All he can do is wait. And hope that love is enough. 48 hours feel like 48 years. Ryan doesn't sleep. Doesn't eat. Just paces his office, staring at his phone like he can will it to ring. Serena stress bakes. 3 batches of cookies, 2 loaves of banana bread, a pie nobody will eat. Sophia is the calmest of all. She sits in the living room, drawing. Mr. Hoppy in her lap. When Ryan asks what she's drawing, she shows him. 3 stick figures holding hands. A house. A sun. Caption. My family. The call comes at 9:47 a.m. Maria's voice is tight. Judge Morrison has her ruling. We need to be in court in 2 hours. Ryan's stomach drops. Sophia looks up from her drawing. Signs. I'm scared. Ryan signs back. Me too. But we're together. Serena appears in the doorway, flowers still on her hands. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out. The courthouse is packed. Media. Advocates. Onlookers who follow the case online. Blake arrives with Trevor and her expensive legal team. She looks confident.
Poised.
Ryan's side of the gallery is smaller. Just Maria, Serena, Chris Evans. But Sophia sits between Ryan and Serena, holding both their hands. That's all that matters. Judge Morrison enters. Be seated. The room goes silent. I've reviewed over 40 hours of testimony, dozens of exhibits, and I've spoken privately with Sophia. The judge's voice is measured. This court's only interest is the best welfare of the child. Blake straightens. Confident. Ryan's jaw clenches. Ms. Lively, you argue that biology and motherhood entitle you to custody. Judge Morrison pauses. But this court recognizes that parenthood is earned through action, not merely granted through birth. Blake's lawyer shifts. You abandoned Sophia for 18 months during a critical developmental period. You missed milestones. You missed therapy. You missed the onset of a serious anxiety condition. The judge's eyes moved to Ryan. Mr. Reynolds, you admitted your failures openly. You also demonstrated extraordinary growth. You learned a new language, literally, to communicate with your daughter. You restructured your career. You sought expert help. Ryan barely breathes. But most importantly, You recognized what Sophia needed and provided it. Continuity, safety, and Ms. Williams. Blake's lawyer starts to stand. Judge Morrison waves him down. I spoke with Sophia in chambers. She's a remarkable child. The judge's voice softens. She told me, in her own words, some spoken, some signed, that she feels safest with her father and Ms. Williams. Ryan's eyes sting. She said, and I quote, Mommy looks at me, but doesn't see me. Daddy learned to see me. Blake's face goes white. Ms. Lively, your petition for joint custody is denied. The courtroom erupts. Judge Morrison's gavel bangs. Order. Silence. However, I am granting you supervised visitation. 2 hours twice a month, with a court-appointed monitor. If you demonstrate consistent, appropriate engagement over the next 12 months, we can revisit custody arrangements. Blake's hands clench. Mr. Reynolds retains sole legal and physical custody. Ryan exhales for the first time in 2 hours. Additionally, Judge Morrison looks at Serena. I'm ordering that Ms. Serena Williams be designated as Sophia's primary caregiver in Mr. Reynolds' absence. Her role in Sophia's recovery is undeniable and shall be legally protected. Maria grips Ryan's shoulder. They won. Blake doesn't stay. She gathers her things and walks out without looking at Sophia. Trevor follows, already on his phone. Sophia watches them go, then looks up at Ryan. Signs. Can we go home now? Ryan lifts her into his arms.
Yes, sweetheart.
Let's go home. 1 month later. The house feels different now. Not just because the paparazzi are gone or because the custody battle is over. It feels like a home. Sophia's laughter echoes through the halls. She sings in the shower. Off-key, joyful, uninhibited. She's speaking more every day.
Not all the time.
Some days, her voice still disappears under stress or fear. But she always has signs. Always has her hands. And now Ryan understands every word. One evening, the three of them sit on the back patio, watching the sun set over the Pacific. Sophia is teaching Ryan the sign for grateful. Like this? He forms the gesture. She corrects him gently. Shows him again. He gets it right. Sophia grins. Signs. You're getting good, Daddy. Ryan signs back. I have a good teacher. Serena watches them, her heart full. Ryan looks over at her. You okay? She nods. Just happy. Me too. They sit in comfortable silence as the sky turns gold, then pink, then deep purple. Sophia leans against Serena's side. Signs sleepily. I love you, Miss Serena. Serena's eyes fill with tears. She signs back. I love you too, sweetheart. Then Sophia looks up at her father.
Daddy.
Yeah, bub. Are we a family now? Like, a real one? Ryan's throat tightens. He looks at Serena, then back at Sophia.
Yeah.
We're a real one. Sophia smiles. Good. She falls asleep between them, Mr. Hoppy tucked under her arm, the ocean breeze stirring her hair. And for the first time in 18 months, Ryan Reynolds feels like he's exactly where he's supposed to be. 2 months later. The morning starts like any other. Sophia bounces into the kitchen, Mr. Hoppy tucked under her arm, her blonde hair still messy from sleep. Ryan's at the stove making pancakes. He's gotten better, though Serena still supervises. Serena's setting the table, humming that gospel tune she only hums when she's truly content. Sophia climbs onto her chair and watches her father flip a pancake. He catches her eye and signs, Good morning, sweetheart. She opens her mouth.
And speaks. Good morning, Daddy.
Not a whisper. Not halting or hesitant.
Clear. Strong.
Easy. Ryan freezes, spatula midair. Serena's hands stop arranging the silverware. Sophia blinks at them, confused by their reactions.
What?
Did I say it wrong? No, baby. Ryan's voice cracks. He sets down the spatula and kneels beside her chair. You said it perfectly. I've been practicing, Sophia says, like it's the most normal thing in the world. Dr. Chin said I could try talking more if it felt okay. And it does. It feels easy now. Serena sits down slowly, her hand over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Are you sad, Miss Serena? Sophia asks, concerned. No, sweetheart. Serena laughs through her tears. I'm so happy.
Oh,
Good. Sophia grins. Can I have chocolate chips in my pancakes? Ryan laughs, a sound of pure relief and joy. You can have anything you want. Over the next weeks, Sophia's voice becomes a constant presence in the house. She chatters at breakfast, reads aloud to Mr. Hoppy at bedtime. She still signs, especially when she's tired or just wants to share a secret with Serena or Ryan across a crowded room. But the silence that once swallowed her whole? It's gone. Dr. Chin confirms it during their next session. The trauma has integrated, she explains to Ryan and Serena while Sophia plays in the corner. She's processed the abandonment, found safety, rebuilt trust. Her brain no longer needs the protective silence. So she's healed? Ryan asks carefully. She's healing, Dr. Chen corrects gently. Trauma doesn't disappear, but she's learned she's safe, that she has people who see her, hear her, fight for her. That's everything. 3 months later at a school presentation, Ms. Rodriguez stands at the front of the second grade classroom, beaming. Class, Sophia has something special to share with us today. Sophia walks to the front, no longer the withdrawn girl who sat alone at lunch. She's wearing her favorite purple dress, lavender, like she told Maria in court. Her confidence is quiet but undeniable. Hi everyone, she says, her voice clear. I want to tell you about something really important. She glances back at Serena, who's sitting in the back of the classroom as a guest. Serena gives her an encouraging nod. A while ago, I couldn't talk, Sophia continues. Not because I didn't want to, but because I was really scared and sad. My brain was trying to protect me by making me quiet. The classroom is silent, every kid listening. But my nanny, who's basically my second mom, taught me sign language. And that helped me say things even when I couldn't use my voice. She demonstrates a few signs. Hello. Thank you. I love you. My dad learned too, even though it was really hard for him. She giggles. He kept accidentally signing refrigerator instead of thank you. The class laughs. Now I can talk again. But I still use signs sometimes. Because having more than one way to say things is really cool. She looks around the room. So, I wanted to teach you some signs. Because maybe someday you'll meet someone who can't talk, or someone who's deaf, or someone who just likes signing. And you'll be able to say hi. For the next 20 minutes, Sophia teaches her classmates basic ASL. Every single kid participates. Every single kid learns. And when the bell rings, 3 kids ask if they can eat lunch with her. Sophia looks back at Serena, eyes shining. Serena signs, I'm proud of you. Sophia grins and signs back. I know. The Reynolds house has found its rhythm. Ryan still works, but he leaves the office at 4 p.m. every day. No exceptions. Serena is no longer just the nanny. She's family, legally designated as Sophia's caregiver, but emotionally so much more. And Sophia? She's thriving. She's joined the school choir. She's teaching a lunchtime ASL club. She has friends, real friends who love her loud days and her quiet days equally. Blake comes for her supervised visits twice a month. She's awkward with Sophia. Tries too hard. Brings expensive gifts that Sophia politely accepts but rarely plays with. But she shows up. Consistently. And that's something. One evening, after a visit, Sophia sits with Ryan on the back patio. Do you think Mommy will ever really see me? She asks quietly. Ryan considers his answer carefully. I don't know, Bug. But I do know this. Whether she does or doesn't, you're going to be okay. Because you see yourself. And we see you. Sophia nods. I think I'm not waiting for her anymore. I used to wish so hard that she'd come back and be different. But now I have you and Miss Serena. And that's enough. Ryan pulls her close. More than enough. 1 year later, it's Sophia's 8th birthday. The backyard is full of kids, her entire second grade class, plus some neighbors, plus Chris Evans, who showed up with a ridiculously oversized stuffed unicorn. There's a bounce house, a taco truck, a cake shaped like a rainbow. And in the middle of it all, Sophia, laughing so hard she can barely breathe, surrounded by friends who adore her. Ryan watches from the patio with Serena. "We did good," he says quietly. "She did good," Serena corrects. "We just showed up."
Yeah.
Ryan's arm settles around Serena's shoulders, casual, comfortable, a gesture that's become natural over the past year. "But I'm glad we showed up together." Serena leans into him. "Me too." Sophia runs over, dragging two friends by the hands. "Daddy, Miss Serena, come take a picture with me." They gather in front of the balloon arch. Chris takes the photo. Ryan, Serena, and Sophia in the center, arms around each other. All three of them smiling, real, unguarded, joyful smiles. Later, when the party's over and the guests have gone home, Sophia finds the photo on Ryan's phone. "Can we print this one?" she asks. "For my room?" "Of course." She studies it for a long moment, then looks up. "This is my family. My real family." Ryan's throat tightens.
Yeah, bug.
"It is." "Good." Sophia grins. "Because I wouldn't trade it for anything." She runs off to help Serena clean up, her voice carrying through the house, bright, clear, unafraid. And Ryan stands there holding his phone, looking at the photo of three people who were once strangers. Now, there's something else. Something stronger. Something permanent. A family. Not born from blood or obligation, but built from choice, patience, and love that learned to speak a new language. Sophia Reynolds is 8 years old. She talks, she sings, she laughs without holding back. The silence that once held her captive is gone, not because she was fixed, but because she was seen, heard, loved without conditions. If this story touched your heart, if you've ever felt invisible or loved someone who is struggling to find their voice, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to remember. Healing is possible. Love is patient. And every person, no matter how quiet, deserves to be heard. Thank you for watching. And remember, you're seen. You are valued. You matter. Subscribe for more stories that remind us what it means to be human.